Welcome to my home. This is Gator Gidge. Let's go on in and do some more decluttering. Yes, this is the death cleaning episode. Hi, Ginger. Yes, this is the interior entry that we will be working on. Let's close the door. Okay, this is the plan. Let me explain what's going on this side. So let's come over here. All right, I have a mirror that I used to have there that can either go back up. That's why those screws are there. And this is the desk. When you take things out from one area and you place it in another area, you end up with overflow. However, I was going to sell this one because I'm keeping the larger desk. If you remember on a previous video, I had redid this cute area. So anyways, you know, I like the little glitzy lights in my house. So what my plan is, well, I can't do this, but my genius, talented husband can do this. I just asked him if there's any way he could convert this into a bench. And he took a look at it and he said, oh yeah, I can do that. Of course he can. I mean, he built that pie case, he built the shed outside, he built these beautiful built-in bookcases with the crown molding. So he can do it. So that will be a future video. That won't be ready yet because it's awfully hot right now. And it's too hot for him to work outside. But we can create a focal point here. So I have two different mirrors I can try. The one I just mentioned and then another one that I moved from the craft room. But this is the area we're going to declutter and going to see how many items I can get rid of. And my idea is it would be nice to make a family collage of photos here instead of having all these photos spread out, because to me it looks cluttered. And I do like to have family photos out, so I'm going to see what I can do. And I've been collecting books from around the house. I still have another section that has books that I need to bring in. But I will be decluttering this, and I'm going to start with a clean slate because that's how I roll. My creative process is wipe the slate clean and start over. So this will all land on the dining room table. So let's start by removing all of this stuff off the shelves. In the book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, the author, Margareta Magnusson, has a section titled What to Keep and What Not to. And the opening paragraphs really hit home, and it's actually my philosophy. And I quote, "The intention is not that we should remove things that make our lives pleasant and more comfortable, but if you can't keep track of your things, then you know you have too many. That's on page 14. So how do you feel about that? I mean, I'm always saying that I'm keeping things that make my home happy. What do you do? Do you have a philosophy? Share it in the comments. And normally I don't like to do voiceovers, but when I was recording this, my husband was in the living room watching the telly. So I decided just to record myself doing the work, knowing that I would have to do a voiceover. The reason I like not doing a voiceover is because I like the spontaneity of whatever it is I'm going to talk about. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this format, and I am also going to share some thoughts about how I feel about making a home a happy place. When the storms of life come rolling in, we need a sanctuary, a peaceful place we call home. What brings you peace? What does your sanctuary look like? Leave a comment in the comment section. For me, it's less clutter, but yet pretty things like birds and flowers, nature, plants and trees and mountains, yes, and happy colors. This is my escape from the hectic world. How do we get there? One space at a time. Yay! Almost finished. And then I can show you what the dining room table looks like. So really, I'm really not, ouch, almost finished. Here's a, oops, Humpty Dumpty. Dick and Jane collection. Now, teachers, yep, we collect rocks and turtles. Alrighty, here is the decluttered shelf. That's pretty amazing. So, but my job's not finished yet. Nope. Really, it's not. Let's go to the dining area. Okay, here we go. Here's the flyover. That is a lot of stuff. It is. I mean, a challenge would be to reduce it by 50%, but I don't think I could do that. Let's go to this side now. Oh, I'm also decluttering more paperwork. So I take a bag and fill it up and work on it. So that's not for this video, unless I show you trash or shredded bags. It's the boring stuff that nobody wants to do, and we procrastinate. So my dears, this is a lot of stuff. Do you have a lot of stuff? And how do you decide what to keep and what to donate? And if you resell, what do you resell in a garage sale or on the marketplace or eBay? Anyways, it is quite daunting, isn't it? When you bring it all into one location. And yep, I'll ask, when we do the dining room, we'll address this shelf again. I'm not going to even go there. This is plenty. This is plenty. So that's where we'll stop, because I'm the lunch lady and it's lunchtime. And guess what? I don't have to cook lunch today because we're going to the senior center for lunch. Yes, we are. One of the many perks of getting older. I'm speechless. Gosh. I'm speechless. I thought I was doing great when I did the first decluttering of my books. And I still have a lot of books. Well, that's not even my autographed children's books that I have put away in a bin. The struggle is real, but I don't want to maintain all this stuff. How do you decide what to keep and what not to? So I have all the books here on the table. I mean, I don't know how tall that would be if I stacked them on the floor against a wall, to see how tall that would be. I know there's books I can get rid of. I mean, I'm ready to let go of more. I don't know really, like, oh look, I missed a photo. So I was trying to gather all the photos and just have books here. And all of my tchotchkes, knickknacks are over on the peninsula. Okay, so right here, these are the knickknacks, and here's the photos. Okay, so that's that. The majority of what I have are my books. So I think the plan of action is to put them in categories first and then decide what it is I'm going to hang on to. But yeah. I'm afraid to keep stacking. It's like playing Jenga. It's about to collapse. And I still have a lot of books left. Right there. Yep. And that's not counting other areas, but like I said earlier, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to make another stack next to that stack. It's a bunch of tiny books, and I added to this stack here because this is about to collapse. Yeah, I can't add any more. So I still have these and these. So if you can just imagine this little stack here and this on top of it. All right. I almost lost the stack once, so let me just show you. Yep, there we go. Now the sorting will begin. So it's day 2 of decluttering the interior entry. There's Woody, hard at it. You have anything to say to our viewers?
Yay. Hi, good morning. We're painting the entryway yellow. And it's not a lot of space, but it's intricate. It's a typical hallway. Lots of places to cut in and tape off, things like that. Cleaning is harder than painting a blank wall. Blank wall is easy, but cutting around the door jambs and the baseboard, it's not hard for me. It just takes time.
All right, so it's a little tedious. I just wanted to share a snippet of behind the scenes. He's going to be taping off areas, and then we'll do a check-in.
Okay, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching. This isn't going to be a tutorial. It's just going to be kind of like a Eloise helpful hints. I've been in the business for over 4 decades and own a couple of businesses. And I see a lot of homeowners working out of these dime store roller pans and rolling the walls just by using this without an extension. That's really hard on you. Here's the way I do it. I use a 5-gallon bucket with a grid. Slide the grid on the opposite side of your handle. So when you pick it up, you're not hitting the grid like this. Sometimes, see, it hits that, so go to the opposite side, and you're not constantly having a problem. Well, the roller of choice is a lamb's wool, but I didn't have one today, so I used this. This is by a company, I believe it's called Wiz, W-I-Z, and they make a fine product. This is no spatter, and it is a wonderful, you can do an entire house with one of these. I'm not kidding, not exaggerating. You can put primer on all the walls in your home and put the finish coat with one roller. Anyway, enough said. And when I pour my paint in, I put my thumb here and my thumb here, pour what you can get out of it and flick it. Just like that. And always have a drop cloth under you. So that's got most of the paint out. I'm satisfied. I'm not wasting a bunch of it, and the paint's not dripping down the face of it. So it's a win-win. And here's the roller system that I use. I use a professional Purdy brand roller. It will last a very, very long time. And also a Purdy roller handle. And watch this. Screw it in. Get that nice and tight. It's adjustable. This is wonderful. You can adjust that for a full extension, or if you're in a closet or something, and it stays locked. So for me, I'm going to try it about right here. And the way I get my roller started, this is damp. I ran this under a faucet and then I spin it. You can spin it with your hand or whatever. Get all the water off of it until it's not spinning a bunch of water back at you. You come to your 5-gallon bucket and just tap the top of the paint. And then use your grid to work the paint in like that. And you just have to get it started. And it holds a lot of paint. That's pretty good. Now come over to your wall, and you shouldn't get any drips. If you're getting drips, you're putting too much paint on the ends. So put it on your wall, and just go back and forth for just a couple of strokes like that. That works it in. And no matter what the directions say, you're going to hear them put out numbers like 350 square feet per gallon. Not going to happen. I get 250 square feet because I put it on wet, not dry to where you're taking one roll full and you're trying to paint half your house with it. You just want to put it on where it's nice and wet. Just like that.
Well, honey, it's looking beautiful.
It is.
This is, you all know. What is this color, honey?
The color of this? Good question. I don't know.
Well, we've used this in the other areas of our house,
Oh, hang on.
and we'll try to get the color for you, but it's also my happy color.
It is a happy color. Maple taffy.
Wow.
This is of course, a Valspar color. And that's what it is.
It's just looking so warm and rich and beautiful. And by the way, we are not sponsored by Purdy, just so you know. I just like to show what it's really like, the reality of decluttering, decorating, and being inspired to make your home a happy place. And it doesn't happen in one day. This is not HGTV. I don't have a giant crew. It's just Woody and I. Okay, things are happening behind the scenes. I'm trying to sort this mess here and declutter. I'm trying to create a collage of photos or something to do with family photos. And as you've seen already, the painting. So yeah, we're still on the second day of decluttering and decorating our entry. So what I'll do is I'll do check-ins. I know this video is going to be long, and I hopefully don't have to do 2 sections for episode 2. So yeah, let's just keep on trucking. Okay, so I've started sorting, and at the end I'll show you how many books I'm going to get rid of, but I'm decorating the shelves as I go. And I've decided, because I really enjoy books and I've gotten rid of so many, and this is not exaggerating, probably over 1,000 books that I've gotten rid of. I've always dreamed of having an entire room set up as a library, but I'm going to use the approach I've heard about. I think Clutterbug has talked about it, and Dana K. White, I think it's her philosophy, although I'm not subscribed to her channel. It is the container method. So really, my husband built all these shelves in the dining room as part of my library. So that's the container. I can keep books as long as they fit on these shelves. And then I keep some vintage books on this shelf. And I just can't part with the geography. Those were published in 1968. But they're just a series, American Geographical Society Around the World program, Nelson Doubleday. So I opened the box, and in each box you have different categories. Like this is St. Louis, Arizona, New Mexico, Pacific Northwest, national monuments. So they each have their own stamps that go in. So you stick these stamps. Some of them already have been completed. The national monuments and mountain states. So I love geography, and I got rid of my favorite geography book the last time I decluttered books. So I'm going to keep these because I like geography and I do refer to them. So those are staying. But anyway, I'll do a check-in. So I'm going to do the container if they fit on my bookshelves, my vintage shelf from the desk. And let's go back down this way. Oh, and these were also created for my books. So I'm going to just say these are important to me, and I've compromised already on decluttering lots of books. Good morning, everyone. Today is day 3 of cleaning, decluttering, and decorating my entry. It's the books. Actually, I should have left the books for last because of my sentimental attachment to books. But I'm just gonna push through. I mean, like I've always said, one is better than none. So we'll see how many I can part with. And spoiler alert, probably not a whole lot, but that's okay. I will leave a link in the description of when I did my book series of decluttering my books. So anyways, let's get busy on day 3. And the final reveal coming up soon. What I like about these are the texture. And the photos, the feel of the paper. Yep. I don't know, I just like old books. It brings a lot of fond memories. And the books, I went to school growing up learning to read from this, Dick and Jane books. So I think these will go up here. Let me just set them aside. I'm just going to start with the Dick and Jane books here first and see, because I like to display books.
I have this little collection, and I do have duplicates because when I buy them, I see them, but I keep the duplicates in case I want to gift it to a friend. So, it's a special gift, you know, someone that really loves them as much as I do. Okay, that can go in another section. Oh, and then Jack and Janet. Oh, I think these are about Dick and Jane. Yeah, Sally. Yep, this is Dick and Jane also. Oh, Jack and Janet. And again, these are like the readers that we grew up with. I find these at estate sales. So the next batch of books is, well, this is history. The Rebirth of America. That's a pretty old magazine. That's an atlas. Like constellations. And then I also like learning about rocks, minerals, and gems. These are different books that I refer to.
And then this one, of course, I love flowers and nature. So it talks about the different plants. It's in a beautiful, beautiful book. So it's the Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Wildflowers. So keeping those. And then I always would get little gifts as a teacher, or sometimes my kids. But I like this one because share your popcorn. How a little positivity can change everything. This is Sam Glenn. He's the author guy. So it's good. It's good to read positive sayings, you know. Spend more time with people who bring out your best. If you want to feel better about yourself and life, get around people who celebrate you and not just to tolerate you. Page 40. Yeah. You must master a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. That's appropriate, isn't it? That's page 72. Just random. What I get from that is I'm trying to change my mindset about what I hold on to, the clutter that I keep, the legacy I'm leaving for my children. And for me, it's one day at a time, one step at a time. So in order for me to master it, my hoarding tendencies, I have to think about how to change my destiny. I have to master my new way of being. And it doesn't happen overnight. So leave a comment if you have the same struggles with hanging on to things. And then this here's hummingbirds. Oh, this I'm going to keep for my scrapbooking. I'll set a few aside for scrapbooking. So yeah, so I need to find a spot for those. Okay, so I'm just bringing books in. I'll organize it. I might have to shift things around, and I'll do some of that off camera, but I just wanted to show the other kinds of books I really enjoy are inspirational books. And just these beautiful books that have beautiful covers. I can't help myself. Okay, let me just, these are about to collapse. Okay, this one is Chalk Dust. That one's Prayer Meditations for Teachers. So anyway, the little snippets, they're a little long, so I won't read one. But here's God's Little Promise book. Look how beautiful. I just love these little books. And I randomly turned to this page, but it's appropriate. It's on page 75. And Moments for Your Life. I'm trying to find the author. And this came from one of my best friends. It says it's me. From Best Wishes, Candy. That's when I was a dental hygienist. Anyway, here she's a hygienist also, and we're best friends. Anyway, let me read this. The largest room in the world is the room for improvement. That's page 75. That's me working on improving. I'm 63 and I'm still working on improving myself. And that you always having all sufficiency in all things may have an abundance for every good work. 2 Corinthians 9:8. So I love that. Just throughout the day, just pick something, read it, and I have different books that I go through. So that's the history behind why I love books and I love to read. The things you learn about someone else that puts their life out there on YouTube. Why am I behind these books? Because I don't like to pay for information. I've already bought it in these books. This huge stack, which I'll show you at the end, and this stack here, but these over here. I used to have an antique booth and I would sell collectibles, and it was just a starting spot. I don't have a booth anymore, but I do sell on eBay, and then I have a lot of vintage dolls, and I like to have information about the dolls. It's not always on Google and it's not always on eBay. And sometimes you have to pay to have a special account to look up things that have sold in the past. And I just do, right now, research. And I enjoy it, right? So this is one of my vintage dolls. She's probably from the late 1800s, like 1895. Pristine condition. She belonged to one of my aunts. And she's just amazingly beautiful. Her clothing, her shoes, her clothes has never been removed. She's beautiful. maybe she's scary to you. We all have our own idea of beauty, right? But it's history. And she's in mint condition. Her clothing is in mint condition. So that's why, the story behind why I'm not parting with my doll books, and I'm not parting with my books about decorating and antiques. And they bring me joy. And the final touch, a little glass dish for keys or whatnot as you walk in the door. So I would like to come to this side and do a turn and show you how it is much improved. I think the yellow warms up the space. And this is where I'm going to do a collage, but I haven't had a chance to work on that. So that's not for this video. Here's the future bench, unless we just decide to keep it as a landing spot. There's the mirror. Everybody needs a mirror in their entry. This came from the craft room. My crystal came from my antique display case. And that's the ball I bought for $2.60 at a thrift store with fairy lights and another bowl underneath. Those are my angels that were relocated. And here's the final product. I have to say that I am quite pleased. And you go that way, you see the happy yellow. Okay, let's count the books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, oh no, 32, 33, 34. 34 books. Going to the garage sale first and then donation. These will become ephemera for journaling. These are garage sale items. 2 doilies, my rock vintage top to relocate. Probably disassemble that and relocate it for now. I'm throwing these 2 frames away and this paper for trash. And that's it. Yay! I did it. And you know what that means? That I have a little more, less stuff to manage. Yes. And guess what? I'll get better every time I revisit my bookcase. So, what do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know what you struggle with the most. Please like and subscribe and ring that bell. And as always, thanks for watching. This is Gator Gidge saying ciao ciao. 3 days. 3 days later. All right, my house is back in order for the most part. Everything's put away.